Howdy. I wanted to show you this square sunspot. That's somehow very fascinating to have this kind of thing here at the moment. And there's quite some action going on from this departing sunspot as well. But I think that's somehow very interesting. Maybe it influences the weather on Earth in ways we don't know yet. So I noticed a weather pattern emerging. I have been watching this for quite some time. For this we go over to Windy, watching Scandinavia. And there are two bigger lakes here. One is Vättern, and the other one's name I don't know. This is the one I'm interested to. I have been driving along this lake for many times, driving from Switzerland to Finland and back. So you drive with a car many hours along this shore lake. It's impressive. But rain accumulation, that's 3 days and that's 10 days. So there is a very massive amount of water coming down there. Expected 140, even more. 160, 70. That's very much. And I was very intrigued by this, because you can see it, wind gusts, probably here. Maybe we have to go up with the height a bit. 900 meters. Let's take 2000. No, let's take 900. We are watching this region here. And actually we need probably also the pressure lines in order to make it even more visible. No, probably not. But let's have a look at that. No, now I know. Let's put them off and we just watch rain and thunder. So, Lake Vättern. Let's zoom out a bit and go back at the moment of now. That's now. And now we go on into the future with this prediction map. And here is the lake. Now it starts approximately now, right while doing this video. I was supposed to make a video about this some days earlier, but obviously I didn't manage. So there is quite something going on in the next 2 days, 48 hours or something, or even more. And I see weather and these kind of events as something. There is something going on beneath the surface which attracts these kind of weather events. I checked earthquakes in the region. This is 1 week, earthquake filter, 7 days. There hasn't been any quakes in this Vättern area. Vättern, this one. So what are we talking about? Lake Vättern. And I was making a little bit research today, and I stumbled across this article, Major Earthquake at the Pleistocene-Holocene Transition in Lake Vättern, southern Sweden. Lake Vättern, Sweden, is within a graben that formed through rifting along the boundary between two Precambrian terrains. Geophysical mapping and geological coring show that substantial tectonic movements along the Lake Vättern graben occurred at the very onset of the Holocene. This is evident from deformation structures in the soft sediment accumulated on the lake floor. Our interpretation of these structures suggests as much as 13 meters of vertical tectonic displacements along sections of less than 80 kilometer long fault system. If these large displacements are from one tectonic event, Lake Vättern must have had an earthquake with seismic moment magnitudes to 7.5. In addition, our geophysical mapping shows large landslides along sections of the steep lake shores. Pollen analysis of sediment infillings of some of the most prominent sediment deformation structure places this major seismic event at the Younger Dryas pre-boreal transition, approximately 11,500 years ago. We suggest that this event is mainly related to the rapid release maybe we have to go into the text. So that's now the text. It's free for everyone to download. Many people have been there making this. We suggest that this event is mainly related to the rapid release of ice sheet load following the deglaciation. This paleoseismic event in Lake Vättern ranks among the larger known interpolate tectonic events in Scandinavia and attests to the significance of glacial isostatic unloading. The reason why I was making this research is I was searching for a map of this lake, but I didn't find a satisfying map. Of course, there are maps like this one here, but I was searching for especially tetrahedrons. But on this, I haven't really found them. Actually, there might be a few. These might be as well, but it's hard to say. These look more like triangles. Because, for example, in Lake Baikal, they are very easy visible. And here we have these kind of pictures, and I was searching for lambda food and these kind of things. Here we might have the lambda foot. So this would be a shock wave reflected in the creation of the lake. And the creation of the lake quite likely happened through electrical discharge events. Do we have any more pictures here? No, that's a shorter one. For example, here, we cannot exclude the possibility that fault displacement resulted from a short-lived sequence of smaller earthquakes, although we favor one major event. So, here would be several large events which possibly could have created such a thing, like Lake Vättern in Sweden, and When we watch at the surface conductivity anomaly map, I am not too sure. Maybe we have to check it out a bit better. This is Finland's coast. Maybe I have to use another color. Finland's coast, and it goes down here, and that's Sweden. Here is Norway. So Lake Vättern must be somewhere here. Now let's take Google Earth map and somehow try to make an overlay just by vision. Now we have this dent here. So Lake Vättern starts approximately here, and it is approximately in the middle of that. So no witchery done. Here is the dent, and it's somewhere here. So this, according to this map, doesn't anymore include Lake Vättern. So the surface conductivity anomaly map doesn't include Lake Vättern too much, which is interesting. I think it's very interesting. But maybe we have to check also, what should I say? Geothermal activity? Yeah, let's have a look at the geothermal activity in the Lake Vättern region. Yeah, I just choose now one of these articles. Enhanced geothermal systems in Europe, an estimation and comparison of the technical and sustainable potentials. Access through your institution. Temperatures at depths from 3,500 meters to 9,500 meters in Europe were calculated. 10 kilometers down. Do we have any picture? No. Damn. Now let's images. We must have renewable. Let's choose this one. Global Energy Network Institute. According to this map, it's not too high, 50 to 80 megawatts per square meter. But there is some higher density here or more heat, and also here. Yeah, that's interesting. There is this patch here, and volcanoes are here and here. And of course here. France, that's very interesting. Another thing to check out once then. But anyway, a quick stop still at Wikipedia about Vättern. It's the second largest lake by surface area in Sweden after Vänern, and the sixth largest lake in Europe. It's a long, finger-shaped body of fresh water in south-central Sweden to the southeast of Vänern, pointing at the tip of Scandinavia, being a deep lake of at 128 meters, 420 feet, or 40 meters, 130 feet below sea level at its steepest point. Vättern is about 1/3 the surface area of Vänern, but in spite of this contains roughly half of its water. 40 meters below sea level. Vättern drains into Motalaström through Bråviken into the Baltic Sea, but also has a downstream connection since 1832 through Göta Canal to Vänern and the Kattegat tributary of the Atlantic Ocean. The lake has plenty of sources from rivers and small lakes, with the highest located sources being near Näsjö on the South Swedish highland near the southern shoreline. The name Vättern is closely related to vatten, the Swedish word for water, and also means water, lake. And the present-day lake began as an independent body of water left by the receding Scandinavian glacier after the last glacial period around 10,000 years ago. It became a minor bay of the Baltic Ice Lake. Most of the lake's relict species, like the Arctic char, date from that time. Subsequently, it was a bay of Yoldia Sea, and then became connected to Ankylos Lake, discharging from the north end of its extent. At about 8,000 BP, an accident of the uneven Scandinavian isostatic land rise brought Vättern above Ankylos, and the two became distinct. An accident. Uses. Vättern has been famous for the excellent quality of its transparent water. Many of the municipalities in the area receive their drinking water directly from Vättern. The lake water requires very little treatment before being pumped into the municipal systems, and the natural untreated water can be safely drunk from almost any point at the lake. It has been suggested that Vättern is the largest body of potable water in the world. The surrounding municipalities process 100% of the sewage. Vättern is known for the annual recreational cycling race. Yeah, this doesn't care. This doesn't matter too much. Cultural notes. According to the Catholic Church, Saint Catherine of Vättern performed a miracle involving 3 people in peril on ice, on lake ice. Thomas Nashe mentions this lake Vättern, in his Terrors of the Night, published in 1594. Although he mistakenly locates the lake in Iceland. Okay, why not? Admirable above the rest are the incomprehensible wonders of the bottomless lake Vättern, over which no fowl flies, but it's frozen to death, nor any man passes, but he is senselessly benumbed like a statue of marble. All the inhabitants round about are defend with the hideous roaring of his waters when the winter breaks up, and the ice in his dissolving gives a terrible crack like to thunder. When as out of the midst of it, as out of Mount Gibel, a sulphurous stinking smoke issues that welleth poisons the whole country. So, we might looking at a caldera after all. This happened 1594. Let's say 1600. Easier to count for old people like me, which is approximately 400 years ago. We have the 400-year sun cycles, about grand solar minimum and these kind of things. This time, it doesn't look like we have a grand solar minimum. We have squared sunspots and accelerating sun activity, many flaring and all these kind of things. Earth's magnetic field is weakening. We have the surface conductivity anomaly map, which might be an imprint from earlier actions on the surface of Earth. It is remarkable, similar looking to a sea pinch. And I was thinking this could be even an old ancient North Pole. Yes, why not? It's the imprint of a North Pole. Because it has very much similarities with the imprint on polar cusps. And the polar cusp is out here. So I was just thinking if there would be or would have been this kind of fluctuation and this was just going up and down. And this region hit Earth and left this mark. And in the same, when this happened, maybe Lake Vättern got created. And it's connected very deep into the mantle, to the groundwater and all those other things. There is still a continuous energy flow going on because the lake is still full. There is water still inside, it's not dead. And as we watch windy Lake Vättern is here, you can see there is an exchange of energy still going on this weekend. Maybe the monster of Lake Vättern is slowly awakening. And this is how you can see it, watching the clouds. If you would be there, you could see them with your own eyes. But we have to keep an eye on that too. I think that's a very interesting event coming up this weekend in Sweden. Be aware. Take precautions, whatever you need to do, if you are in the region. So, this is just somehow also an antipode to the drought speaking or talking. Wherever you look, everybody's just talking about droughts. Every now and then someone mentions some flooding events, but usually they are much less in numbers, and no one really talks about the floodings or mountains crumbling, glacier bursts. They're all related to the heat, probably not only. I think that's very interesting. Also the emerging weather patterns. It seems to make a total flip. 180 degrees. This is very impressive to watch. I'm very excited. That's rain and thunder over Europe the next week. I'm somewhere here. Here is not too much going on. And I think it's because of the Kursk magnetic anomaly and the interplay with the surface conductivity anomaly. I tried to get some answers from people who, according to their papers and titles and all these kind of things, should know better than I do. But it's really hard. I don't get any answers. It's, in a way, a little bit frustrating, but also funny. For example, I have been talking about this channel here, how it sucks up in the north. But I have also been talking many times about energy going both ways. Now it has changed direction 180 degrees. Now it's coming from the north. So fall is here. It's coming today. And in a few days, everybody here knows that it's fall. And the people in Sweden may notice this as well. Lake Vättern, there are gonna be some probably flood videos emerging in the next days from Sweden. Maybe some hail and heavy winds and tornadoes and what else. Maybe also some earthquakes could be expected. And I just wanted to show you this still at the end. SO2 emissions. In the Baltic Sea. here, here, Stockholm, and St. Petersburg. What's this north? Oslo. Oslo, Gothenburg. 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 12,000 years ago. And there is something going on there. There is like instantaneous SO2 emissions. Now it's not that well visible. But here it's still blowing from south to north, and soon it will switch around. But there is in Oslo and here and here and here instantaneous SO2 emissions for whatever reason. I don't know. Haven't found it out yet. Probably one day. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you. Bye.